Flipping, okay. Because I had it wrong. I had the camera. I was on this side of the camera instead of the opposite side where you don't see.
Oh,
So
okay.
when I had the camera facing me, it went landscape instead of
Got you.
portrait. Instead of straight up, it went vertical. It went horizontal instead of vertical like it is now.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So I got to get on the other side of the camera.
Okay.
I gotta make it like I'm filming myself on the opposite side. So I gotta
Oh,
get
yeah,
over.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So
I'm saying.
how that look?
Oh,
That's straight.
perfect. Yeah, that look good.
Yeah, good. Okay, cool. Hold on, because I'm going live on my Facebook too. Hold on.
Okay. Let me get on my face. I'm on Facebook too. Let me see. See what
Make,
I
make sure I'm on my right thing. So I look good on this. This is good.
Yeah, man, you look good on this one for
Okay.
sure.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my camera
Let's see.
on my Facebook.
That's it,
Okay, there we
man.
go. Now I got it. Okay. Yes, sir. All right. All right. So yeah, Doctor, we're live and kicking. I got a little bit of the Florida game in the background, so don't focus on that.
Yep.
But yeah, so we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. So yes, sir, we're good to go, brother. So I don't know if Jamar's gonna be able to get on or not. I sent the invite link to him.
Did you send? Okay, that's
If you see something, tell him to let you know because I'm on the other side of the camera, so I can't see an alert.
okay. I'll like.
So let me know because then I have to tell folks to hold on so I can go around to the other side and let him in like I let you in. And I can't even put comments on there right now because let me see if I can get on my own live on my and watch it. But yeah, man. So yeah, I wanted to get on here and let some folks know some breaking news on that we want to share because we know what today is February 1st, right? So National Signing Day is what, this Thursday?
Yes.
National Signing Day is this Thursday, and so I kind of just wanted to just come in. Let me see if I can get on. I can see myself live.
Jamar is on a meeting. He says he'll hop on when he gets done.
Okay, if just let him know to let us know when he wants to try to get on. I can just let him know that I can get him on. And so I think I got it on my Facebook where I can monitor and see if anybody's getting any comments in the chat. But in the description I have because I got on here today to talk about two things pretty much. Like I said, breaking news. We know National Signing Day is coming up this Thursday, and so it's going to be real interesting. NJCP, our social media marketing team has really been putting, um, posting some things. I don't know if you saw our recent post on Instagram, Pearson.
Yes. Yep. I
Which was
just sent it
cool.
to you too as well.
Yeah, it was cool to see that. On there. And so, and that's the breaking news, man. That stuff is coming up, and there's going to be some excitement, and there's going to be some heartbreak. But that's life, and that's why we have NJCP. But the other thing is really two things I want to talk about because yesterday,
Right.
as I was had a chance in between doing some stuff I had going on yesterday, I got to see this promotion of the flag football, how it's blowing up. How flag football is taking off, and
Right.
it's really with girls, And what we're talking about, whether it's flag football, NJCP, Junior College Prep Football League, is really all about how to get your education paid for and open up doors of opportunity, help you get exposure and help coaches who are going to recruit you in your sport, whether you're male or female, and whatever sport it is, you know, how you can get yourself exposure to these coaches to get yourselves noticed to be able to get you a scholarship and play a sport that you love. And so even whatever we're talking about when it comes to sports is always going to be geared around how this can help you pay for your education, how you can get
Right.
yourself an education. Um, and so that's like the main thing. It's not necessarily about trying to go pro to the next level. And if you do, that's great. You know, that's just the icing on the cake when something like
Absolutely.
that happens. But we know there's more than enough colleges and universities around here that will
Mm-hmm.
um, give you a scholarship to pay for your education. Um, and so
Absolutely.
that's what, you know, really what we're talking about. And so yesterday there was a big, you know, because we don't have any, you know, college games, football games going on right now. We don't have the NFL games going on right now. I'm trying to straighten up my camera, be sure it got me in here right. Um,
Yep.
so that gave them an opportunity really to talk about flag football being an Olympic sport.
Mhm.
How I think Matt Rule, I saw some news last week with Matt Rule, and he's really involved with the flag football program for the female athletes at the University of Nebraska, where he's currently the head men's football coach. I think
Right.
he's taken upon himself. I think he gave some young lady a full scholarship. I think she's the first Division I full scholarship flag football athlete in the country
Oh,
at
nice.
University of Nebraska flag football program. And then I think there's a young lady on the national team that's going to be on the Olympic team. She received the first NIL, and she plays at Kaiser University back in South Florida. Because you know more NAIA schools are giving scholarships. I don't know if they're full scholarships, but
Right.
they're giving scholarships right now more so than NCAA teams are. NCAA is really trying to catch up with what the NAIA programs are doing already with female athletes. So they got a leg up, you know, on the NCAA schools doing it for female athletes, but they're coming, you know, and Matt Rule doing what he did by giving that first young lady the first full scholarship to
Mm-hmm.
pay for her education. So it's coming,
It's
you
good.
know.
Yeah.
There are enough
Absolutely.
sports, of course, for the men, but flag football is coming, you know. And then they talked about this other young lady who's like the biggest, one of the biggest endorsers in flag football for females. Like she has some big time brand deals. So it was kind of cool seeing that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's exciting to see that with um, the young ladies, you know, athletic, where that's growing. Like you know, women in basketball, the WNBA is growing. You know, they got a ton of women basketball games on the day that I've looked at. LSU beating Alabama. I know UConn and Tennessee was a big game today as well. So it's just getting, you know, it's really going. So what's your comment on that?
I think one of the things that they're bracing for is, just a few years ago, they had that sanctioned girls wrestling, and it took off. Year
Right.
one, it's especially in the state of Iowa. And so now it's nationwide. And so I
Yeah.
think that's one of the main things that, they're saying since it was such an explosion with the
Hmm.
sanctioned girls wrestling, now that they sanction girls, flag,
Yeah.
they they're going to get the same reaction. That's what
Mhm.
I think that's what they're bracing for. With girls wrestling, about 3 or 4 years ago, they didn't anticipate that. And I think
Hmm.
with this, I think that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
With this, they want to be in front of the curve, make
Hmm.
sure that they got everything in place. So then that this explosion, and I
Yeah.
think they're spot on too with it. I think
Yeah.
it is. I think it is going to blow up. I think it's going to be a great sport. I think you're going to get a lot of people coming out to watch it. Um, I I think it's going to be great. Honestly, I do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, that's come. I know one of my older brothers. He coaches women's weightlifting. I'm not sure if he does wrestling. He does something else. I know he does track and field. You know, and track and field is even blowing up because you know you got
Yes.
the young lady that's eating it up in the 400-meter hurdles and you know you got several women that just like blowing up track and field. So it's cool to see the women getting the attention you know that they always deserve, but now it's just more um, attention getting because of how good these athletes are today. You know,
Yep.
the boys and girls. You know,
Absolutely. It's kind
anything
of,
on that that
yeah.
that you're seeing like with the female athletes level of their skill level.
Yes. And the thing is I coach girls wrestling, high school girls wrestling for about 3 years. And I can tell you the difference between coaching females and coaching males are like night and day.
Yeah.
Um, you have the females are more intense. The females are more. I want to say that they are really focused on what you're coaching them and how you're coaching them, and they want to be perfect. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? They want
They
to do
want to get it
everything
right.
just
Yeah, they
right.
want.
They want
Yeah,
to
they
really
want to get it
focus and
right.
make sure that they're doing everything that you're coaching them to. And
Yeah.
then, I'm not saying that, I mean the guys don't, but I think the guys are more, I mean, it's not new to them. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's something that, you know, guys are just guys. Guys will be like, yeah, we're gonna work hard and we're gonna trust the process, but at the same time, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna be fixated on it so much that I
Yeah.
know everything's not gonna be can't be perfect, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but
I, I,
but with the
I mean,
females,
yeah, yeah.
I think,
I think you
yep,
like you said, because girls are more emotional. Because I know
yes,
now when I referee basketball, man, you have to blow the whistle like five
yes,
times, man, to get the girls to stop when they get in the tussle with a
they are
jump
in it.
ball. You know,
Yep,
they can get they can go at it during a
yes, they
basketball game.
can. And, and coach, that's in every sport. I'm telling you, with the female athletes, that's in every
Mm-hmm.
sport, man. They go after it. I
Mm-hmm.
really, really enjoy coaching females. I really
Yeah,
enjoy watching the games. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? I mean, because
Right.
it's intense from
It can get
start to
intense.
finish.
It can get intense. I mean,
And so,
now, it takes. I know girls because they mature, which when I'm saying some
yes,
of them they get tall and grow faster, they get a little awkward compared to boys a lot of times. So they're still kind of behind in some ways, but when they catch up, when they get it now, because of so much training and coaching,
yeah,
outside of just your middle school team or your high school team and even your college team,
yep,
kids are getting
absolutely.
that off that, away from the team. They're getting some of that individual attention that they need in strength and conditioning the proper way,
Yes.
to help them build up. But now I do see at the young age, being I'm involved in elementary school as a PE coach,
Mhm.
I can see sometimes some of the kids are, because they're inside playing games more than they are outside, like how we grew up.
Oh yeah.
But because of the training that they can get, because we didn't have it, we were kind of like on our own, and sometimes
Mhm.
we might have our rec coach or our middle school coach or high school coach out
We
there
didn't
sometimes. But
we didn't
today,
have all
yeah,
these extra like batting practices,
hmm,
individual coaching clinics. We didn't have all that. Right now, the kids right now today, they got so many clinics and so
hmm,
many sport brand practices. It's
hmm,
just crazy.
yeah,
I was just talking to my wife this morning,
hmm,
and our nieces, they're
hmm,
in batting practice right now this morning, Sunday
yeah,
morning. They in
yeah.
batting practice. I'm
And
like,
and,
who?
and, if they really love it, like if they really love it as an athlete, boy or girl,
Yep.
they're going to put that time. They're going to put that time in, because you do have some boys that get focused.
Yes.
It's just that sometimes it can come easier for some, and you may not see it as much for girls. You probably see it more for girls now today than we did when we grew up. But I remember there was
Right.
some female athletes when I grew up, man. There was some ballers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That if they were coming up in this day
I
and time
agree.
right now, they probably would get some NIL money. You know
They
what I
would
mean?
have been beast. Yeah.
Oh
I
man, for
mean,
sure. We
they
had
would
we
have
had,
been. Yeah.
but now I think
Man.
because of, like we're saying, they get so much of this individualized attention as male and females. Because I do some
Mhm.
training. I got people that's have been reaching out to me to do some training. And I'll be doing that once the weather permits. On those days we can do it. But that's what has helped them excel. One of my buddies always says, like, with these NBA players, they're like F1 cars. They're so when these cars these F1 cars, man, they're so
Oh
fast.
yeah.
They're,
Yep.
they're so, they're so with the way they're designed, and some of these kids today, man, the way they're so physically designed, when they get it, you
Mm-hmm.
know, when they get it, it's cool, you know. Um, and so, but I just want to, just say right quick while we're here live, just welcome, thank you for whoever's joining us, whether you're watching us live or you're watching this video recording on YouTube or Facebook. Appreciate you guys joining Coach Smith and Coach Pearson on Love the Game 24/7 pod. We just want to jump on here and just give some breaking news. And the reason why I say that is just because, I mean, this flag football is blowing up. We got the National Signing Day coming up.
Mm-hmm.
With some of these kids getting ready to sign and hopefully decide and determine whether they may be blessed to go further their love for their sport. But one thing that I definitely want to touch on is the importance of kids doing multiple sports and not just one sport. Like I'm getting ready to to launch my flag football program for boys and girls here. So if you're in the North Dallas, McKinney area, North Dallas is my little M area, and I have the links in the description for you guys to click on, get signed up. This flag football is awesome. I know we got the flag football game coming up, I think Tuesday for the Pro Bowl. And now even in that now, because during our day and time, the NFL players took their Pro Bowl game like it was a regular season game, a playoff game.
Yep.
And now it's moved towards the flag football. I think it's exciting. I do miss that real action, but there's so much money to be made now for players, which is good. I think, right? I think it's
Yes.
good. I don't, and so a lot of guys don't want to risk because they've increased the regular season schedule. A lot of guys don't really want to risk getting hurt. So flag football is a good replacement, I think, because of what's going on. I know there's some people who, I know we have a few comments, and some people feel like football is trash and things like that. And, and I beg to differ. Are there some things that can be better? Oh, absolutely. There's some things that can be better about the game. No doubt about that. I'm not going to sit here and say that. I still love the game of football, uh, tackle football, and the camaraderie and the team, and and the teammanship and relationship that you build. But still, yeah, of course, there's some things that we can do better with the game, and we need to work on that, and we need to fix it. But the thing I just want to help people, some people realize, because they talk about NIL, they just need to understand. We grew up in there in time. There has always been NIL. I think some people
Mm-hmm.
got to get off this whole thing about, because now we know. Oh, we always knew. Those of us who played. Let me just say that. Now, some of you all who may not have had the blessing for whatever reason, they didn't play beyond high school. If you did play, but NIL ain't new. Okay,
Yep.
it's just known. It's just now. It's known to the public. Okay, so if it didn't
Mm-hmm.
ruin it back then when guys were getting paid, and trust me, guys were getting paid. In comparison to what was being made, guys were getting paid back then. There's nothing new about college guys getting paid. Um, so whether people want to think it wasn't happening, it was. Okay, plain and
Yep.
simple. We played college ball. We knew guys that were older than us that would come back and tell stories and share stories. We know. All right, NIL is not new. Okay, so let's get past that, or helping parents get jobs and all this other stuff. Man, I mean, it goes back history. I've even watched, because I'm a history buff too when it comes to sports. In any sport, I like to watch some history and learn. And I remember watching a gentleman back in the 40s and 50s talk about when he was one of the first black players to play, and some of the things he was getting to play college, to play college ball. And I think he even transferred like 2 or 3 times because of the money that was offered to him, and basically to help his family. You know,
Right.
and that was back, and I was surprised to hear about it, like, dang, way back, when he made a point, like, oh yeah, that was not something that was new about in the game, you know. Um, so, but yeah, so money has always been in it. It's just I like the fact that now more players have an opportunity to get money that may not have been able to get some money. Um, now that it is legal. Now, granted, hey, is a guy who's always just on special teams, should he make $1 million? If somebody wants to pay him $1 million and think he's worth it, that's their choice. It ain't my
That's
money,
it.
you know.
That's it.
But hey, that's just that's just just what it is. And then, like I said, some of these kids are not transferred because they're being called. Let me just say that they're being reached out to by these schools. As a matter of fact, Dabo Swinney just came on, I think about a week or so ago. I saw a report where he was upset that his kids, one of his players, top players, was being contacted. You know, now granted, I'm not saying that they shouldn't make some rules and do some things, whatnot. I'm not saying that they shouldn't just let it just be all kind of the wild wild west when it comes to this. Um, and you can't blame anybody but the NCAA by not taking care of business the right way. When they were making all this money and put themselves in a situation when they should have just come out and said, okay, hey, you know what? Yeah, these players deserve to have some money because these multi-billions, not billions, multi-billions for years that we've made
Yeah.
all athletes. And if they would have just done that and said, okay, we across the board, we're gonna pay, schools will be allowed to pay their starters and and primary backups this amount, and then every kid that's contributing on that team and practicing and sacrificing their body and whatnot, hey, they can make this amount, or in this range. So it wouldn't become the wild wild west. They could have done that. They surely could have done it, but they didn't. And now they got some work to do to correct it. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying somebody else is right or wrong. That's just my opinion. I just share it. I'm not going to get in the whole tizzy thing about it, but hey, that's just it is what it is. And granted, with some of this, some of the players of today aren't the same type of players that we grew up because of how we had to fight in scrams today. Some of these guys, like I said, they get all the training and things today compared to us not having that that one-on-one attention to focus. But we were still elite. So that's my opinion. I don't know what what say you, Coach Chris?
Well, I think a lot of these kids these days now, they're allowing chasing a bag to influence them in a certain way, which is not a good way. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you still have to be humble.
Yeah,
I mean, you
absolutely.
still have to, process, trust the process, go through the process.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people, a lot of kids are thinking that, they're owed something, and you're
Yeah.
not owed anything.
No, you're not. Mm-hmm.
I'll be the first one to tell you, you got,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got to earn everything you get. That's
Mm-hmm.
just life. It's just the way it is. And so a lot of kids come out and they, because they have a little bit of clout, whatever,
Right.
they did some good
Yeah.
things, but they aren't very good. But then they
Yeah.
feel that they should get the top tier money, or they should, what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, they should get
Yeah.
paid
Right.
when they don't have the skill set that, dictates that they get paid that way. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so a lot of these kids out here with these, false, I guess,
Yeah.
expectations that they are,
Yeah.
better than what they really are.
Right.
It's a
Or getting
lot.
something, or feel they deserve something before really earning it.
Yes, that exactly. And just with recruiting right now, I got kids left and right. I got high school kids contacting me
Yeah.
about, coming and playing for us. And then
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, it's like, they're like arrogant, they're
Mm-hmm.
like they're trying to dictate what goes on. And I'm just like, you can't play for us. You know what I'm saying? You can't play for me.
Or,
All
or,
right.
or, or if you do come play for me, we're gonna give you a reality check. We're gonna have to put you back, and you got to be coachable. That's the thing.
Exactly.
You
You
know.
have to be coachable. If you,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I can tell you, if you got that arrogant, attitude, if you got
Mm-hmm.
that, and there's nothing about wrong with being confident, right? I'm not saying confidence. I'm just like
Those are,
just
arrogance and confidence, two different things. Yeah.
right, but just being arrogant, disrespectful, just that you're owed something.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be successful. I don't care where you go, what you do. I don't care what career or job you that's in your future. You're not
Yeah.
going to be successful.
Yeah.
Um, you have to be humble, and because everything you get or have
Mhm.
or may get can be taken away
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like that.
Hmm.
So think about it. Like I said, I know back in the day when we grew up and we were thankful, to have opportunities. We
Yeah.
were thankful and respectful of the process of the
Hmm.
individuals in front of us who made it happen for us, because you didn't you didn't start this.
Hmm.
Somebody sacrificed ahead of you to pave this road so you could walk down it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you always got to be willing to pay homage to those that came before you that paved the way. You're right about that. Definitely right about that. And if I ever get, whenever I've had a young man that may seem to come off that way, you correct them and you correct them in love and you correct them, and you let them know because you want them to be better. Now one thing I will say, I don't think there's a lot of kids. I think there are some, and I think just because what gets reported on media, because sometimes that's what sells,
Right.
and they'll talk more about that because I don't think there's a lot of kids that way. I think there's more kids who are humble. Um, and you're going to come across a few who
Yep.
need to have a reality check and help them understand.
Atti-
You got
attitude
to produce. You got to
adjustments.
produce. Yeah, that's about
Yes.
attitude. You got to be able to produce and film and video don't lie. Now, one thing I will say, I was watching Nightcap with Unc and Ocho, Shannon Sharp and
Oh yeah.
Ocho
Yep.
Cinco, and they had a young man who's a 2028 prospect that committed early to Oklahoma. And I think he's a Texas kid, young man. And one thing
Hmm.
this young man that I definitely appreciated, which lets me know that was definitely refreshing. There are some this young guy said it wasn't about the money. He said specifically he's not chasing money because he has some people that offer him that already. He's not even graduating in another. He still got another year before he graduates. He's just a rising junior or be rising senior since the season's over next year. And so, he just said, he talked about what his grandmother and grandfather talked about, exactly what you're saying, and being humble,
Hmm.
hard work. And he said himself, I want to go prove that I'm worth, and I'll deal with, and he said, I'll deal with that, the rest of that stuff later. He's like, and I mean, I'm like, and I think there's a lot more young men like that and that's willing to work hard. Like this young man came on their show.
Right.
And that was one day this past week he came on the show and and I was like, that's what I'm talking about. And
Mhm.
I think it's just more like what gets reported more so and what might
Right.
sometimes make people think that that's where the athletes thinking. And I think, and you and I coach, we know there's some kids that we coach that are hard work, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
we know
Absolutely.
that are coachable and humble. And I think
Yeah.
it's just some of the guys who seem to get a lot more, attention. They want to make you seem like, or who are considered the top athletes in their class,
Hmm.
like this young man was, are not humble, and that's not true. You know what I mean? I don't think it's true. But do we have some? Absolutely, we do have some.
And
I don't think
and the
it's a
other thing too.
lot, but we do have some that we have to make sure we help them
Yeah.
understand. You know,
Also,
go
the
ahead.
coach. The other thing that I want to kind of bring up is, I notice all these kids right now are like offer hungry, and so
Yeah,
they're collecting offers and then posting them on
yeah,
their Instagrams and their platforms, and it's like
hmm,
you have to understand. Although you may get an offer, that doesn't necessarily mean that offer is going to be there when you're
right,
ready to pull the trigger on it,
yeah, right,
because we have a
hmm,
whole list of kids waiting in line. And for example, if you don't accept that offer, right,
hmm,
and you
yeah,
have ample enough time to, think about it and reflect on it, but you got to
hmm.
understand, we've got somebody else waiting for that
In the
same
league,
offer.
right? There's if kids watch, that's why I tell kids watch the draft, NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB. I
Hmm.
watch all those draft shows. Maybe on a yearly basis, I'm going to peek at all of them so I can get an understanding of how they work. But they all have exactly like you said. They all show at every position who's
Yep.
their primary, secondary, third player. They have their boards, their draft boards at every position, and they have guys ranked. And if somebody gets drafted before they get a chance to draft them, they got to drop to the next person. And same thing
Right.
in college recruiting in sports, whether it's male or female athletics. They have their list at every position, right? Whether you're a transfer portal kid or coming out of high school. And that's another thing I want to share. I don't want to forget, but I want to just say again, welcome those who are watching us live. I'm Coach Jeff Smith with the Dallas Stampede and Rise Flag Football. Don't let me forget to plug my Rise Flag Football, right? In North Dallas and McKinney, Texas. The links are in the description. And if you're in one of those areas and you need to get your young female athlete and your young male athlete, elementary, like kindergarten up to middle school, signed up with Rise Flag Football. We are New Balance is our national sponsor, which is awesome. And so just want to just get that information out there and appreciate you guys joining us. Coach Pearson is the head coach of the Lightning in North Carolina with
North,
NJCP, National Junior College Prep League. I'm the
North
head coach.
Carolina Lightning.
Yeah, North
Yes.
Carolina Lightning. I'm the head coach of Dallas Stampede. We have teams across the country, about 20, close to 20 teams across the country. And we are the answer to the transfer portal issues and for some high school kids who
Yes.
not have a home, just like some of the transfer portal kids may not have a home. And you need to stay continue growing and developing. My son played 6 years in the NFL. He'll tell you just like any other legitimate athlete, guys get better every year. You better stay on top of your craft. You got to stay on top of your craft, right?
A constant grind. It's a
Mhm.
constant grind, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's
And
all
so
business.
yeah. So I just want to get that plug too, with NJCP and my Rise Flag Football League. Get on, click on that website and join. Get registered. And like I said, go to the links. We also have the NJCP football link. I have
Yes.
some players that I looked update today. I got to give one of my players a call today to talk to his parents about the whole questions and things like that I'm going to answer for them. But you need to get registered for a tryout camp. Coach Pearson has his tryout camp dates. Mine are March 1st and March uh, uh, 14th, March 1st and 14th. I see I'm on the back office looking today and saw I got some guys registered
Yep.
for the tryout camp that we're going to have here in Little Elm in one of the suburbs of Dallas, Texas, DFW area. Coach Pearson, what are your dates for your
My
tryout?
dates, my trial is the 14th of this month and the 7th of March next month. And so I've got signups already. Go to njcp football.com and you can sign up also with that. Just looking for I got a great number of kids to sign up already.
Mm-hmm.
So give us a call or get online, sign up. And right now you can get a discount right now for $80
Right.
day of if
Yeah,
you
for
show
doing
up day
online,
of
registration.
online. But if you show up, it'll be $100. So yeah, come on out, guys.
Yeah,
It'll be a
yeah. I mean, that
good
like I
workout.
love the game 24/7. You gotta love the game and everything about it. The grind, the getting better in your craft, getting out there and competing. Right. I mean, I love competing. I love the trash talk. I love all that stuff. Um, and being humble when you get beat, and then hey, going back to the drawing board and on how to get better when you go up against a player. Like hey, yeah, you got me. Okay, yeah. I'm coming back. That's competition. That's
Hmm.
competition. Like, man, hey, and we can dap it up later. Hey, you won that one. Yeah. Next time around or next play, I got you. That's what fuels helping everybody get better and drive that competitive edge, man, to really help elevate your game. But we're with National Junior College Prep Football League. Coach Sean Jones put out a nice thing on Instagram. You can see my Instagram page, Coach Smith 27. What's your Instagram, Coach Pearson?
Mine is Stephen Pearson. Um, .com, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Just
Instagram. Yeah,
put it,
I'm on X.
yeah.
I'm on X.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm Love the Game 27 on X, and I'm Coach Smith 27 on IG. And so follow us. Be sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching this live or the recording. Um, be sure to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Continue to help this channel grow. We having great content on here. We want to get the word out, get information out about my Rise Flag Football League to help develop the young kids. And then also NJCP being the answer to the transfer portal woes. because I try to tell people like, oh, they complain a lot. I'm like, no, figure out, strategize how to get your opportunity, because you can get you an opportunity. I don't want to hear this stuff. The transfer portal ain't new. I mean, they always had the transfer portal. It ain't nothing new. Um,
Yep.
so they've always been guys that got stuck in the transfer portal. You just know more about it today because we got social media and we got NIL and all this other stuff going on. So the transfer portal is nothing new, right? It's all about you figuring out how to navigate with all this stuff, right?
Right.
There are many spots and positions on football, but you have to, like Coach Pearson said, commit and dedicate yourself to your craft and getting better and being able to play at a high level, right? And the best availability is always what? Being available, right? Some of you guys may have gotten injured and it slowed your recruiting down, or it kind of put a halt to your recruiting, and now you're getting back healthy and you're graduating high school and you really don't have the video um, that you needed to have, because really it's your junior year that's most important. And you can speak on that, coach. It's the junior year that's really important in any sport for any athlete, male or female. And then going into your summer of your senior year, where you go to camps and all those things to help drive your exposure. But having some great film in your sophomore and your junior year to really put out there is what some guys have missed, and because of whatever reason, like injuries. And so NJCP would be a great way to utilize you getting back, showing that you're still able to play at a high level, you're back healthy, right? You didn't get the scholarships that you thought you were going to get come Thursday, the opportunity.
And,
And go ahead, coach.
and really, you know what? We help bridge that gap. You know
Mm-hmm.
what? I went through junior college. Okay. Part of my path was going that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you. It was it was a blessing, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it it stalled me from, you know, being where I should have been
Mm-hmm.
sooner, at a sooner
Yeah.
time in a sooner period. You
Yeah.
know, I was a two sport athlete. I did football and track and field, and I can tell you, sitting out a whole year, a year
Yeah.
and a half, or whatever, 2 years of
Mm-hmm.
not doing track really hurt me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when I transitioned to my university or college in
Yeah.
Iowa, it
Yeah.
really hurt me because I was so far behind the curve in track and field. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I had to catch up. So with this, I mean, the way we bridge the gap with the NJCP, it
Mm-hmm.
allows you to continue
Yeah.
to work out and be active and be able to play, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, and be able to keep that level, you know what I'm saying, of
Yeah.
play and being in shape and being ready.
Because your
So
body,
when you,
yeah, and it ain't just the
yes,
physical part, like you said, it's the mental, like you just talked about. How you were
mhm.
behind because of the injury.
Yes, and so the thing is because I set out basically 2 years of
Mm-hmm.
track.
Yeah.
Man, I was playing football now, but
Mm-hmm.
football shape and track shape are
Different.
totally two different things. And the thing is I probably could have excelled even more if
Mm-hmm.
I was still able to do my my track workouts. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
and I think that's important. Like you said, I think sometimes today we get some coaches that drive once being sports specific at too young of an age. No,
No.
totally disagree with coaches trying to lock
Yep.
kids in to be sports specific at such a young
Right.
age, right?
Right.
That's my son had to learn that when he was getting recruited. Like I said, he got a Power Five scholarship, and when he sat there and heard his coach ask him, some of these recruiters when he was going on a trip, hey, what other sport you play? Because they want to know. And then if you do, they want to know, hey, are you a starter? Are you an impact player? Because if you are, they know they got a guy, or they got they got a girl, right? Um,
Exactly.
and so that's why I try to tell some parents too, you know, don't be careful what you're listening to. Some people don't really give you good advice. I mean, I
Mhm.
didn't have my father around. I had older guys who I saw doing just that: football and track, or football and basketball, or football and baseball.
Yep.
Yeah, one or two may have did some soccer. But it was mainly they were either doing track, um, and basketball or baseball. you know,
Right.
or girls that were doing, volleyball, basketball, and softball, and some did soccer, and track and field, and so for a coach to get a young athlete to be sports specific, one sports, no, no, that's bad. That's not good for them. That's not good for the development
Hmm.
at all. That's my opinion, and I guarantee there's some information that backs it up
Yep.
too scientifically,
Absolutely.
because I've heard people talk about it who know more about the science side of it, and the kinesiology side of it, that encourage the same thing. That no, it's
Hmm.
not time to, with someone that's in high school, even in college. Like I said, we were two sports stars, football
Yep.
and track, man, from middle school all the way through college. Um,
Then we thought,
um,
you know what? I mean, the best thing that we did too is like, I remember our football team, and then after the football season, our 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 linemen, they
mhm,
would they would do throws, shot
mhm.
put,
Yep,
and
shot put.
discus for footwork,
And
right?
they probably wrestled too. How
Yeah,
about that?
and wrestle. They,
Mhm,
you know what? So you had your choice. You could wrestle, you could
mhm.
do, you know what I'm saying, footwork and all that,
Yeah.
plays a part in, you know, the development and the process.
Mhm,
And then just, all the skill
mhm,
guys did track. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I
Mhm,
mean, we were all sprinters. And then
mhm,
the thing that I didn't realize or I really understand until after the fact was I kept wondering why our football coach, who was also one of the track coaches, he
yeah.
wanted us to run the 400. You know what I'm saying? That was his thing,
Mhm,
the 400 and did not understand how that was building. It helped me
mhm.
build that,
Yeah.
that strength,
Endurance. That endurance.
endurance. You know what I'm saying? To you know what I'm saying? To just so when I got on the football field, it was just like, running up and down the field at full
Mhm,
speed, you know what I'm saying? Full
yeah.
tilt every
Mhm.
play and giving 150% felt so just normal to me because I was just I just had that endurance
I mean,
from running
you
the
know how I got
400.
that's
Huh?
an important point. You know how I got some of my teammates to play football that weren't doing track, that started doing track.
Yep.
When I would leave track practice
There you go.
and spring football started, and I wasn't gonna miss having my time over being
That's
involved with
right.
spring football while I was in track. Now I
That's
didn't do
right.
the contact stuff, you
Yep.
know, but when we had to go through plays and walkthroughs and doing, not live,
Yep.
and when track ended, when state and all that stuff ended, and they would still get ready to do spring, game with all the recruiters. I wasn't gonna miss my time because I was in track. I just didn't do the contact stuff. But I got some of my teammates that run track because when I would come, they were like, "Smitty, don't be coming over here, man, because you just leaving track and you making all of us have to make sure we keep running because the coach, because you don't get tired like we do." I'm like, "That's why you need to run track." you know, like if y'all get over there and run some track, then y'all won't worry. Y'all won't have that issue. Or you know what I'm saying? So some of them started, some of my buddies they started coming out the track. And I said it makes a difference. I said they saw how much of a difference. They knew I could run and was fast. But like you said, the endurance, because I did the 200s and the 400s, along with the 100, long jump. But like you said, that endurance, man, that it gives you for football. Man, I'll run circles around the head all day long. Guys in here on the field and never get really tired because of that. You know what I mean?
Hey, Coach Smith, Coach
Yeah.
Jamar was trying to get on. I don't know if he's, you
Oh,
know,
he is.
I don't know if he has
I'm
Facebook.
let me step around to my other side. I'm gonna have to step off right quick. Give me a second.
See if you can get him on here.
Let's see. I don't know if I can or not.
I'm going to let me call him.
I
He
may
needs
not
to
be able
get
to get
on.
more than. Yeah, I may not be able to get him on because I don't see anything popping up. Oh man. Yeah, I don't see anything coming up. Is he trying to get on right now? Let me see. Yeah. Tell him to let me know if he clicked on the link. Let you know if he clicked on the link. Um, and is he and what's he seeing? We're trying to get Coach,
Oh
South
yeah,
Carolina coach.
he
Um,
just sent a request for you, or Did you send him a request?
Yeah, I sent him one. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's trying to get on.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get more than, I thought we can get more than,
Well, yeah, we're on Facebook. So I think that's the thing. He was thinking we were on something else, probably.
no, tell him that's YouTube. I don't see it
Oh,
though. So,
YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. Let
yeah.
the
Yeah, I text him that. I text him both y'all that invite to try to get both of you guys on. So I'm not sure if I can have more than just two of us on or not, like we do on IG when we go on IG live. Um, but I'm probably gonna do some IG live later tonight. Um,
okay.
so
So
yeah. So
I
if
know
he
we have
can't get on,
Coach. I know we have
mhm.
just text me. So
Yeah, if he can't get on with us right now on YouTube live, he'll probably have to do it with IG. But one thing I just definitely want to say, is like I said, with these kids, they got to get registered. They got to keep their bodies in football condition.
yes,
And if they don't have a solid, like, preferred walk-on opportunity, like my nephew did last year with Oklahoma.
yep,
But what happened, but this is why we tell them grades are important, why it's so important to have your grades in high school. My nephew received an academic scholarship to Oklahoma, right? For about 15,000 a year. Okay. That drastically reduced what his parents, had to pay out of their pocket for him right now while he's not on scholarship to take that SEC preferred walk on at Oklahoma that they invited him to come. They wanted him to come. And they did that because they knew he was getting 15,000 a year for 4 years in an academic scholarship, right? So if you don't have your grades in order and you don't have academic money, it may not make sense for you to go walk on somewhere and your parents are paying, 15, 20, $30,000 more for you to go walk on somewhere and you don't have an academic scholarship to help reduce that, right? So our program is only 6,000 and it will reduce down to 5,000 when you take courses at our partner institution in southern Utah online program. So because we have that relationship with them, then your cost goes from 6,000 to 5,000. And then you have financial aid that you can utilize because you're going to be required to take some courses, not full time, because we don't want you to lose eligibility. So as long as you're less than full-time hours in our program, in our league, you don't lose college eligibility, but you get that time, that gap year to continue to develop while we help you with your recruiting.
right.
We send out emails, letters, we do all kinds of stuff when you're in our program, right?
We have
You're not
contacts
just
with
play.
head
Yeah,
coaches as well. So
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. So that's why we want some transfer portal kids. We don't want just high school kids. We want all of them because we're
mhm,
trying to help you. And our goal is after the fall season's over, that you're going somewhere and getting a scholarship because now you're a plug and play guy because you have experience with guys who've been playing in college that's coming out of the transfer portal that have college experience, and you're a high school kid playing with older guys as well that have, whatever the case, you're going to get experience. And now you're going to be playing against more experienced guys and kids in high school that are younger, right? So you're playing with guys your age and older, right? That have, been around the block playing some college ball that's going to help you mature and grow in the game because you're playing with
absolutely.
older guys coming out of high school. So that's the important part. So if you're not getting an academic scholarship to go be a preferred walk-on somewhere, and if they're not going to treat you, one thing I told my nephew when he was considering going to Oklahoma, even though they reached out to him, where they're going to allow you to still work out and train with other guys, because some people work their preferred walk-ons different, and you need to find out how they do it. Do they allow you to eat at that same training table? Do they allow you to work out, have that same workout schedule?
Mhm.
They at Oklahoma, they apparently do. And that was why my nephew went there. And he's excelled. And he's going to earn him a scholarship eventually. I know he is. But that's why we tell you in high school why it's so important that, you may help yourself to be a preferred walk-on somewhere, whether it's FBS or FCS, because you got academic money, scholarship money. And now when you tell that to a football coach at a school that you got academic scholarship money and they
Oh
have
yeah,
some interest in you, but they just don't have football money to give you, They may say, yeah, we want you as a preferred walk-on because we know you got an academic scholarship, and we're going to allow you to be sure, we're going to allow you to be around the team just like you are on scholarship, doing everything, following our same schedule, right? You eating that same food they're eating, you getting that same trainer and attention with the trainer and the strength and conditioning coach, just like you would if you were on scholarship, right? And so that's what guys got to understand why it's important to keep their grades, and then you be sure you fill out the admissions application so you can get an academic scholarship if you got very good academics. And then that's something that when you're trying to tell the coach, hey, I got an academic scholarship. They got to understand how this game works. That's why you got to come up with a strategy. That's why you got to get connected with coaches like us who play college. I've had opportunity to play pro ball. I got guys on my staff that have played at every level. My son has played at every level. So I think I know, and Coach Pearson, and a lot of us in this NJCP, along with Coach Sean Jones, who's the founder of this league, who played pro ball, and has in the years of building this up, I have a lot of contacts strong relationships. As I said, when you pay that $5,000 or $6,000, right, and you commit to our program, we're going balls to the walls. We're helping you with your recruiting, right? And that's why we're going to lean on you because we want our program to look good, and we want to send guys off to get scholarships and leave us when the season's over. We want you to be transferring and leaving us, going somewhere in January, so you'll be there for spring
And playing
ball.
spring ball.
Yep, to submit
Exactly.
yep, and to go ahead, coach, and to submit their
And
spot.
and yeah, because you know what, our goal is, and our expectations are that you go through our season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we help place you, get you placed in a
Mm-hmm.
next level program, and where you can enter right into their spring ball, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can be there, and you can show that you're a plug-in player that they need,
Yeah,
and they want to have you there. So
because we're gonna develop you.
we've got a lot of coaches, a lot of head coaches who are calling us right now, and I can tell you, uh, hey, they're looking for you know what, they're happy that we are in place right now, that this
Mm-hmm.
league is finally here, because
Mm-hmm.
now they're they're seeding their players that they can't get through
Mm-hmm.
us. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? To get them
Yeah.
developed, and then they want them to come in. So
Yeah.
the thing is a lot of these programs, organizations, they want you ready when
Mm-hmm.
you set foot on that campus. They
Yes, sir.
need you ready to go. You need to be developed. And
That's it.
so this is
Mm-hmm.
our program, NJCP. This league is the league that can help you be ready. We
Mm-hmm.
can help you get developed and ready so you can step in and be a already a plug-in player, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
our goal. And
Mm-hmm.
and the best thing about it too also is that we are probably the most affordable
Yeah.
school to go to right now.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
waste twenty
Mm-hmm.
thousand or 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 more. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To have a year to develop and get yourself ready to go.
Yeah.
Because if
I
you
mean,
think about all the other
yeah.
junior colleges that are
Mm-hmm.
out there, you're paying. Trust me, at the least, you're paying probably $15,000 a year,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
at the
Yeah.
most, I know some are paying like 100 to $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the perfect solution for a lot of individuals out there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
affordable. It's something you can get in. You can get developed.
Mm-hmm.
We can help you and support you being re-recruited. If
Mm-hmm.
you're somebody that's in the portal right now, this can be a resting stop for you
Mm-hmm.
to refocus, recharge, get yourself re-recruited.
Yeah,
And
and you better
and
know we're putting our all in this because we want you
yes,
to be successful because we want our program and system to be successful because we know it
yes.
works, right? If you come just as focused and dedicated as we're going to be coming as coaches across the country in our league, then you're gonna make it. You're gonna go places, and that's what it's all about. Like Coach Pearson just said it. He said it. You got to be able to be a plug and play guy, and some high school guys just aren't ready for that. Some programs will allow you, to do that, but the
Mm-hmm.
scholarships at the moment are not as many. And then that depends on some programs. Some programs have a little more. Iowa State lost 55 guys, because the coach got a new job at Penn State, right?
That's right.
Some guys graduated, of course, so that's why you got to do your homework and do your study, and like I said, we're going to go balls to the walls with helping you get exposure, right, and having good video and encouraging you to play, to your best, right? And if your best is FBS level, then you're going to get there. If it's FCS level, then that's where you're going to go. And there's
Mm-hmm.
always room for improvement, right?
Yep.
So, and that's what we're all about. And and like I said, and you got to start young with Rise Flag football. I'm not going, not, but
There it
then
is.
I started my kids out in flag football, right? And my oldest son, who fell in love with it, took it to the highest level. I'm not saying everybody to do that, but at least everybody who does it can get scholarship money, especially you girls in flag football. But it's getting more and more popular. It's getting
Yes, it
more and more
is.
exciting to watch it. It's exciting to watch you young ladies play and see some of the catches some of you young ladies have made and some of the throwing and interceptions, just the agility that some of you young ladies have. And so it's exciting to watch, even on the men's side. It's exciting to watch, and how it's spreading overseas, right? Even in that, it's popular, big time. So, and so in this opportunity, man, you may get to travel and see the world, as a flag football, athlete. So that's why you have to start young, and I don't, if I had to do it all over again, my boys wouldn't have played tackle. I did start them out in flag football, but I took them out of flag after a couple of years and put them in tackle. But I would have done it a little bit longer until maybe about middle school or maybe fifth or sixth grade. So they get used to the contact part, before they really got into high school. That's what makes more sense to me, that they do it in contact, at least by middle school age. So it's no surprise or shock to them when they get to high school level and play. But you need
Mm-hmm.
to help them with their agility and developing in flag football. And I did that with my boys, with flag football and soccer, and those things as well. I got pictures to prove it. I can show you my boys with pictures in their flag on, when they were little,
Mm-hmm.
playing flag football back home in Florida. And so Rise Flag Football League, in North Dallas, Little Elm area, and McKinney, Texas, with Coach
There you
Smith,
go.
the kids to get developed the right way. And then for you high school kids, there's NJCP, with me and Coach Pearson and a host of other teams we have across the country. There may be as closest to you: Idaho, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Alabama, South Carolina with Coach Jamar, North Carolina with Coach Pearson,
Yep.
North Florida, Louisiana. I think we are in. What are some other places we're in? Utah,
We in
Idaho,
Louisville.
yeah, Louisville,
We, we're in Las Vegas, in Reno.
Vegas.
Right.
Yeah, four teams in Texas. I think we're gonna have I think we're gonna have an East, West, and from where they're looking at it, they may have like four divisions now, in South and Southwest, something like that. They'll figure it out with our league, but and so that's, like I said, that's the breaking news we want to give, because we know February 5th, Thursday, is big signing day, for a lot of
Big sign day for a lot of kids.
and even in other
And
sports too. It's not just football. There's other sports too, but football is the biggest one. Um, but yeah, just know the excitement. The Super Bowl is coming up next weekend. That's going to be exciting. I got the Seahawks winning that. I don't know who you got, Pearson, but um,
I like I like Seattle.
yeah. hmm
When is
Uh,
the Super Bowl? When is the Super Bowl?
this next Sunday. It's next Sunday,
Next
bro.
Sunday. Okay.
It's next
Okay,
Sunday.
I was wondering.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl is Tuesday. I think that's
Right.
Tuesday. They may have something on it today talking about it, but I believe it's Tuesday. Um,
Okay.
and then, like you said, we're getting ready to get prepared for the Winter Olympics. And before you know it, the spring will be here, and then the summer's coming up with track and field, national championships. I know they're doing indoor season, and probably in the next few weeks they're going to be doing the indoor national championship stuff going on.
Yes.
So it's a lot of exciting stuff. Where football. You got coming in March. You have the the NFL pro days and the combine coming up in April and the draft and all that stuff. So yeah, it's they keep us busy with things, and we're working on some other things as well that we'll share in the next several months, that you're gonna be doing this summer. We'll share more about that. But we're excited. Glad to be working with my buddy. And so, like I said, this is Love the Game 24/7 podcast with Coach Smith, with my guest, Coach Stephon Pearson, with the North Carolina Lightning National Junior College Prep League. And we're just really trying to get the word out there, get information out there, get registered, right?
Yes.
Go to the website, njcpfootball.com.
Yes.
Get registered for teams near you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then register for trial camps, right?
Yes.
So all the teams are having their trial camps, and you'll be able to go out there and see their dates for their trial camp. Once again, mine is March 1st and 14th in Little Elm, and Pearson, yours again.
The
Trial
14th
camp.
of this month, Saturday the
Mhm.
14th, and then Saturday, March 7th. And we'll be
Okay.
in Laurinburg, North Carolina.
Longberg, yeah. So that's Coach Pearson with the North Carolina Lightning. So you guys get yourselves registered, get involved, get yourself somewhere to stay in shape and opportunities to get recruited, because we're going to make sure we do everything we can in our power to get you guys recruited. So like you said, when fall season ends, you can step in January and be there for spring ball and make your presence known,
Yes.
and show whoever offers you a scholarship that they made a good investment, a great investment. And we're going to always be available for you, even when you do get into another school, and you may end up in a transfer portal because you wanted to, because you got bigger opportunities with NIL and all that other stuff might be happening, and we hope it does. But as a team, we're gonna always be available to our players, even once they go to another program, which is our ultimate goal for you to get a scholarship somewhere else, at any level, right? Hopefully the
Yes.
top level, and we're gonna always be there to help you. And Coach Pierce, anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Guys, just this is a big week. Good luck this week. Um, right now, you should know whether you have a solid offer, and you should know where you're going for this big day. If you do not, man, get in contact with us, get signed up, get at these tryouts, and let's get it going.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. So we hope to have some breaking news as we every week we're going to be on 2 or 3 times a week. Like I said, join us tonight, Coach Smith 27 on IG. Sometime this evening we'll get on again, share our breaking news and insights. And we'll have Coach Jamal hopefully join us as well on that. But this is just getting informing you and putting out good content and information to help you young athletes know how to get to where you want to
Navigate.
be.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so we're excited and glad to do it. We appreciate you joining and watching, taking time to watch this, share this information. When we go live, share this link with people to get on, right, and to get this information and to find out what they need to do. But as we said, the links are in the description, right? That's there for you for the Rise Flag Football League that is nationally sponsored by New Balance and NJCP. So we got a lot of exciting things coming with that, with my flag football league with Rise and with NJCP, National Junior College Prep League. Man, we're excited, get going here, and we're just chomping at the bit right
Yep.
now, and
Sir.
we're raising money. We have scholarship money available.
Yes. Yes, we do.
We have scholarship money available, and we're continuing to get sponsors and raise money to get more scholarships out, as much as
Yes.
possible to help you guys. But you gotta be willing to invest, right? To
Yes.
show you how committed you are. And usually when you have to come out of your pocket with some money, you usually tend to give some good effort because you just spent some money, some hard-earned money that you just made
Exactly.
and you want to be sure that you show or depreciation to your parents, or if it was money from you working a job as a young person, and you want to invest your money in something good, and you still have a dream of playing ball, and you know you have what it takes. When you have some skin in the game, you
It's a
usually
good investment.
come with more focus because you know you just spent some money um, that you expect a return on investment, and you're going to get it from NJCP. Just know that, right?
Yes, you will.
Your parents going to get it from Rise Flag Football League as well. Know that also. But we're glad you joined us. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again when we go live on our YouTube channel. But be sure to join us live later tonight on Coach Smith 27 Instagram. And so you guys take it easy and have a good rest of the day and relax. And hey, let's get going, Coach.
Have a
You better
blessed
be
week.
ready. You know, because you might get
Absolutely.
thumped. You might get thumped when you got to meet Dallas Stampede. You know.
All right. You
All
still have
right.
to play the game, coach. You got to play the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know that. You know that. All right,
All
man.
right. Much love.
We'll
All
talk.
right, guys.